Welcome back to the Goldenburg YouTube channel. My name is Garrett, and today I'm bringing you a review for the HBO Max original film, Unpregnant. This film is a little touchy based on the title alone and what happens in the film, but this is such a gosh darn good movie that I'm gonna have to talk about it. It's so good. So the premise of the film is a 17-year-old girl in high school gets pregnant. She lives in Missouri. She doesn't want this baby anymore. And the nearest place for her to get an abortion is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 996 miles away. So she needs her old best friend to drive her there. So it's a road trip comedy, and it's so perfect. It's so funny. It's so heartfelt. The drama is there. This is a perfect movie. So your basis of a road trip comedy has to be with your characters. Your characters have to be good enough to drive the plot forward, to keep you invested. Your actors have to be funny enough to keep the comedy going. And in this film, Richardson and Barbie Ferreira fucking nail it. These two actresses are incredibly hilarious. The scenes that they have to be dramatic or fight together, they are captivating on screen. The emotion is there. It's two perfect performances from such different characters, and the banter they have is amazing. They're fucking nerds, and this is a movie I understood every single reference in. That rarely happens. I was pretty proud. For what made this movie amazing for me is that it goes the places that you wouldn't expect it to because of the subject matter. But it goes there, and it does it really well. You have, pro-life people. I would say conservatives, but they don't go that far to say. They're just mainly pro-life. That's the main topic we're talking about. And they're played funnily. They're lighthearted characters, but they still went there. They still give that sensitive an uncomfortable position where people don't want you to do what you're doing. And then you have the other side of actually going through the process of what an abortion is like at this clinic. And they do it so somberly, they do it with such emotion, such heart, that it was so good to see on screen. It's not some scary process. It is a procedure, and they give it the time on screen that is necessary to show it. So you have your road trip comedy, you have your two lead characters that are just great. What else goes into these movies? Well, you have to have the locations and supporting cast. The locations in this film are ones I haven't seen in a road trip comedy before. We go to a fair, there's trouble with the law and everything. Normal stuff that happens. But the progression of these problems that these characters have to deal with is shown in a really good way, and they're not just given problem solved. It's a problem occurs and it affects the rest of the film. It affects how these characters are thinking and what they want to do next. Bailey, for example, she's played by Barbie Ferreira. Her character had to deal with stuff growing up, and that has affected how she thinks now, what she wants. And there's someone in Albuquerque that she has an emotional attachment to. That makes for a complex character because you know the impending sense that she has to get there and whether or not she's going to do this or not. Veronica, played by Richardson, she's the one that needs the abortion. So her journey there is her worried about getting this abortion, what people are going to say. She's a popular girl at school, so she's worried about what the ramifications of that could be for if she doesn't get the abortion, what the pregnancy could do to affect her college career and her career in general as a job. So you have that internal dilemma. You have the fact that these two characters used to be best friends, but now they are not. They're estranged best friends. And the dynamic that they have to realize, hey, we still like each other as friends, and what they do, it's just really perfect to see. So you have films like Lady Bird and Booksmart, two recent films that are very female-centric, but you already have the friend dynamic set. In this one, what makes it a little bit more compelling is that these two women have to re-find their friendship, come together again, even though they have past transgressions, And the way they do that is pretty awesome to see. Their eventual fight scene is done really well. Their coming back together scene is perfect. The acting, again, just nailing these scenes so damn good. Recently, these teenage comedies, Lady Bird, Booksmart, have been nailing both the comedic, drama, and emotional parts. I laughed so much with this film. The costuming department is great. The cinematography is really awesome to watch. There's this one scene when they're at the fair that they go on a ride, and the camera is fixed on them on the same thing that they're on the ride with. So these two actresses have to go through their scene, most likely improvised, just because of how crazy a ride like that can be, where they have to like go upside down and they're swinging and stuff. So to see that happen and them go from one part to the next in the scene was just so fun to see. It was so different. I haven't seen a camera position like that before in that fixed state in a film before on a ride. It was just really fun. The only minuscule negative I have is that I wish they showed us a time. Whether that be, we kind of get it when someone texts someone, I think, other than it was just their name. And then the text message, I'm not sure if they gave us the time or not until the very end. But I wish we had a better sense of time with the film. Whether that be when they look at their phone, we see the time on their phone. Very easy thing. Very nitpicky. Would have just made some things a little bit better for the movie. Basically, in the end, I loved everything about this movie. Unpregnant gets a 10 out of 10. So, have you seen Unpregnant? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye! The funniest reference in this movie is about the Deathly Hallows Part 1. You know that scene with Emma Watson? That's mentioned in this movie, and it's... ooh, what a great thing to pull from a movie to put in a different one. Oh, it's so good.